All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is October 7th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I moderate and lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. That is the day trading service for the hit and run candlesticks family. Okay, let's take a look today at the markets, how I made 24K on a 29K account. Markets are still bullish, all right? We're not totally broken up here, but I'm going to just share what I see in the markets today, all right? Just to go over a few things. T2101, okay? This is the second time we visit down here in the reversal zone. The last time we were here, we did a double dip into this area. We had a COVID, we had the COVID dump, all right? Right here, when we did this, COVID dumped and price went in the other direction. We can take a peek at that. This is the 2-day. Go back to 2020. Right here was the double dip, okay? And that day was 110. Okay, so on 110, that would be January 10th. You go back to your calendars and you'll see this is where price went from this low, and we had a rapid fall all the way to put in the COVID valley. And then from there, we had the COVID recovery. From here came the COVID recovery back there. So, based on the double bottom today, I'm thinking, and I'm probably early, all right, inside the reversal zone with the government shutdown, price comes and starts melting back. We have a pullback, right? Not a big pullback. I think maybe something in the line of 4 to 8%. That's about it, I think. We'll see what happens. That's T2101. Let's take a look at SPY. That's not what I wanted. There's T2101. Let's go back to SPY. All right, on the 10-minute chart. All right, we had a 10-minute downtrend that left off into a bear flag with 10-minute consolidation. That's the way I see it. No uptrend, no downtrend. If you want to call it an uptrend, that's a very weak 2-candle uptrend coming into the close. This is the measured move to the downside for me. That's 664.34. That's the first leg down. We'll see what happens on the 2-hour chart. On the 2-hour chart, we have price. The candles and the 3 are now under the 8, so we have a 2-hour downtrend. So in addition to the 10-minute downtrend today, a 5% pullback brings us down to around 635. We'll see how low they want to go. Again, we're still bullish. All right, it's just one day. We'll see what happens. On the daily chart, for the daily candle, let's take a look at what we got today. We did, believe it or not, put in a new all-time high today. Okay, we did put in a new all-time high today. Okay, so we'll see what happens. But there's the daily candle, and you can see us closing inside the bearish trap over the rising 17. Okay, all the way at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. That's still in an uptrend. Nothing's broken yet. Okay, so there's SPY on the daily chart. Weekly chart, still bullish, still in an uptrend. Monthly chart, still bullish, still in an uptrend. Okay, let's take a look at QQQ. On the 10-minute chart. 10-minute downtrend underneath VWAP. A lot of money to be made there. Same as SPY. Then consolidation over to the right. The bulls did not step in today. Okay, they could not even bring us back to VWAP. Okay, so price comes down and we're in a bear flag over to the right. So we have a platform from which to to dip lower if that's what they want to do. Haven't seen any bulls show up, so we'll see what happens. So there's QQQ, 10-minute downtrend into 10-minute consolidation. If you want to call it an uptrend, it's not for me. I think it's consolidation more than it is a 2-candle uptrend right there, all right, on QQQ. On the 2-hour chart for QQQ, we have price candles, and the 3 are now underneath the 8. We have a 2-hour downtrend. Okay, so on the daily chart, we have, if I'm not mistaken, QQQ made a new all-time high. Again, closing just like SPY inside the bullish trap over the rising 17. Okay, weekly chart still in an uptrend. Monthly chart still in an uptrend. So everything still in an uptrend. All right, so this is on the daily chart. Okay, so that's bullish. I'll zoom out. There's your low. That's bullish and still in an uptrend right there on QQQ. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, IWM, lower high, lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the rising 17. Double engulfing, taking out this candle and the next candle. Price action, top of quadrant 4, that's still bullish and still in an uptrend right up there. Nothing's broken yet. Diamond Dow. These are close, so I got to get the high there is 468.47. The high there is 468.61. So that's a higher high. The low here 464.23. 464.39. Higher low, higher high, closing in the bullish trap over the rising 17. That's bullish. See at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and still in an uptrend for Diamond Dow. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. Okay, FNGU got the high there is 29.50. The high there is 29.52. We've got an outside day on FNGU, so that's a higher high and a lower low. We're closing under the bearish trap again and under the 17, producing a small bear flag inside of a big bull flag. On FNGU on the daily chart, we're in the middle of quadrant 4, way up there at the top. That's bullish still and in an uptrend. Nothing's broken yet. Okay, they haven't made any like lower lows, except for today's candle was lower than yesterday's candle. We haven't broken anything yet. There's FNGU. Let's take a look at silver and gold. Gold makes a new all-time high. That's bullish. I'll zoom out. Okay, new all-time high. That's bullish and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at silver. Silver got a lower high, lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over a rising 17 EMA. That's bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, I'll zoom out so you can see how vertical that thing is. That's bullish and in an uptrend, silver. Okay, let's take a look at USO. USO still in a downtrend. Today's candle looking like an outside day. So that's a higher high and a lower low, closing inside a bullish trap under the wavy 17, still neutral and in a downtrend. Let's take a look at UNG. Got a higher low, got a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the hooking 17 EMA. That is bearish, all right, but in an uptrend. It's bearish but in an uptrend. It's down here, still down here in quadrant 1 right now, UNG on the daily chart. All right, take a look at our technicals. Back to the technicals on the 15, T2101. Okay, you can see we made, let's see if the circles work today. Okay, you can see. I hate that. Why can't this thing just work? All right, there it is. Okay, so right here, and we dipped in right there today. Okay, so we got ourselves possible double bottom, and we dipped in right there today. T2101. This is market breadth. We keep losing breadth, even though we're making new all-time highs. We keep losing market breadth. So there's T2101. We'll see what happens with price action tomorrow morning. T2101. So I'm thinking maybe it's double bottom. Same thing we had in the COVID crash right there. Came from a double bottom in this area. So there's T2101. T2122. Let's take a look at that one. We're in the sell zone. All right, we stayed in the sell zone all day long. Okay, not even in the seller's chop zone. Okay, we just stayed and parked inside the sell zone all day. All right, making little micro lower highs and lower lows. Okay, this buyer's chop zone. Okay, so nothing bullish today showing up on T2122. Okay, not even at the midpoint up here. T2123. I'm going to say selling from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. You can see the red dots continue from the day before. Okay, selling from the beginning to the end of the day. And we made a lower low. 15-minute on the T2123. All right, is still in a downtrend. They were in an uptrend. They're now in a downtrend. 3-bar chart. Same product. Well, believe it or not, the 3-bar chart has entered a downtrend. Because they got a peak and a valley, and they just made a lower low. T2123, 3-bar chart, enters a downtrend. Still up over the rising 200 SMA. Still at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish, but they are in a downtrend on the 3-bar chart. Let's take a look at why is that? That is really messed up. All right, there we go. FNGU is today's price action. Okay, you can see right out of the gate we had selling. All right, down to the base, again down to the neckline. I don't know how many times we're going to visit this neckline. Looks like the bulls don't want to give up the neckline. You can see we were here twice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times at the head and shoulders neckline. Okay. Remember, they can keep buying all day long, all right? It's we'll see what happens, but that's 13 times right here at the head and shoulders neckline. Well, if you wanted to pick something up, this would be the place to pick it up, right here. They still haven't broke that neckline. Price action, selling from the beginning of the day well into into the noon hours, and then looked like a little bit of buying back here, and you can see price action actually getting up on top of the VWAP right there. Now, SPY did not do that based on T2123, kept them going. QQQ, same deal. So these are the heavyweights, just barely making it back over VWAP here, no rubber band candle to be seen. Maybe that comes tomorrow. Again, price is now back underneath the flat 200 SMA right there. Okay, still showing a bearish head and shoulders right here. And 13 touches on this neckline. That's yet to be broken. They're still holding on strong. There's 10-minute chart. That's why I'm saying we're still bullish. All right. Do I think a 5% correction is coming? I think there's a possibility of it. I don't know yet. Okay, but right now we still have not broke this neckline here in the FNGU. And this is the Mac Daddy of them all. When these 10 that are in the FNGU move as a pack, they're going to drag those two indexes along with them. Right now, we got bear flags. This not quite a bear flag showing up on FNGU. So we'll see how far the bulls want to continue with this. They did not make a higher high, so we're still in a downtrend on FNGU. All right, that's it for the markets today. I did see triple top on the SPY. I'll point that out to us right here. Okay, I'm going to put the pre-market on. All right, and I'm going to pick up a clean chart. And I'm going to put the 15-minute. Okay, so we did have a triple top up here. See if the circles and the squares work. Got one right here, one right here, and one this morning. Okay, so you got one on the 3rd, one on the 6th, and one on the 7th right there. There's a triple top. And then on T2122, 2101, we got a double bottom right inside the reversal zone of T2101. So we'll see. Things are very, nothing's for certain, all right? But I know this, they're still bullish until they break that FNGU head neckline up there. I think where markets are still bullish until then, although I just want to be prepared for a breakdown based on the triple top that I see right here. And they could make a quadruple top. We could be right back up here again tomorrow. We'll see what happens. All right, what is the meaning behind the triple top? In the past, whenever I see price make a triple top, especially the SPY, it's been the precursor before the hard fall. It's not a hard fall, but it's a correction. And there's been many instances where I can point out a triple top, and then right after that triple top, we get a correction. Yep, I mean, it's falling. It's a bear flag, not much of a bounce. But FNGU still has not broke the neckline. So, I mean, it's anybody's game. All right, the dealers were definitely in there buying this up today. Not sure what they were buying, but they liked it right here at 668. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. A 10-minute chart is just consolidation. That's all I saw on the 10-minute. Right here. And they finally made it back to VWAP in the after hours. Well, they still haven't touched. Still haven't been able to touch VWAP yet. Which is weakness on the bulls' part. They should definitely be able to tag VWAP. And the fact that they can't shows me weakness coming into tomorrow. It's a Woody's ghost pattern. I probably could be. I don't know what a Woody's ghost pattern is, but got a little 2-candle, 3-candle uptrend going right there. Maybe it continues on tomorrow. We'll see what happens. So there's SPY. All right, traders, that's it for me for today. Oh, to take a look at the trades. A lot of it was just playing defense. Let's see what we got here. I got some puts. Oh, I got some calls. All right, that sold some calls right out of the gate up here on the 10-minute chart. And you can see those calls were no longer in the money, and they melted down down to here. Okay, made 438 on some puts. Obviously, selling the weakness and capitalizing into the dip by selling right there, and then reloading right here as price pulls back. Okay, so that's a whole lot of reloading right up and through there. 2,300 on some calls. Basically just playing the bounce after the 3 candle. Here's your exhaustion candle with your exclamation point, and from there I traded the bounce. Exclamation point is another 3 candles right there, and then price bounces back up there. So we'll see what happens. There's an exhaustion candle right there, biggest red candle at the end of the move into the support area, and then here comes the exclamation point on the end of the exhaustion candle. So you can see I bought this dip right here, double bottom right there. I nailed it with 1,000 shares just to get out a little bit better than break even right there to rip some money out of the market on the double bottom right here, right after the exclamation point, which is a 3 candle move, right after the exhaustion candle right there. 3,400. Again, buying the dip. Again, right here at the double bottom. Okay, exhaustion candle, exclamation point, double bottom right there. Bought it, loaded up 2,000 shares, and just dumped them all for 3 cents to make a quick gain on those. 676 calls. Same deal. Bought the lows, sold the highs, and looks like I had to dump those. That was 100. I was looking for a bounce, and we never got a bounce, so I just had to sell those at the same cost that I bought them. Okay, 6,600 on the puts. Again, buying the lows of the candle, selling the highs of the option candle. Remember, this is a put, so when price comes down, the put value goes up. And I just reloaded, and did the same thing again. And then reloaded, did the same thing again. Okay, 1,200 on the other puts. Again, bought some puts here, sold into the dip. Reloaded, sold into the dip. Reloaded, sold into the dip. Reloaded, sold into the dip. And then reloaded some more right there. And sold into a non-existent dip right there. So made very little on those. All right. So that's it for me for today. You see a left shoulder is higher than the middle head based on, is this your ghost pattern? Where the hands are up here? Is that what you're saying? This is the head. This is the right arm. This is the left arm. Okay. So this is a ghost pattern. I see it now. I didn't see it till you gave me the graphic. Now that you got the Scooby-Doo clip, I can see it. All right. So I see your ghost pattern. I see we made a lower low from here. We definitely made a lower low from there, and we did not make a lower low there. And that should have been challenged. So here comes the ghost pattern. So I think maybe another drop tomorrow. We'll see what happens, all right? If the bulls get inspired by some news, we'll see. Draw the trend line under when it breaks when it breaks short. So underneath the robe right here. So Rickster's saying this is our ghost pattern. Is that right? I don't have a ghost pattern. He does. I do now that he showed me one. Okay, so and I've lost control of my mouse for some reason. Well, it looks like the battery ran out. No. The mouse wheel ran out. Anyways, there's our ghost pattern. Have I got the line in the right spot, Rickster? Thanks, Brian. We'll see you in the morning. But it's on a 10 or so. All right, that's it for me today, traders. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Thank you for hanging out. All right. Made a little profit today on that dip. It's kind of funny. SPY made a new all-time high. Boy, what a pullback. All right, we'll see you in the morning. Thank you.